We're going to talk a little bit about you, mostly about what you've been doing and what you're going to be doing when everything gets back to normal and all of that stuff. Welcome to Backstage. My good friend Pistol Hill is with us today. Welcome to the show, Pistol.
Howdy, thank you for having me, Stan.
Oh, yeah, man. I know we've known each other for quite a while. I think I was at your very first gig you've ever sang at, and I thought that was pretty cool, to be there. And man, have you changed over the years. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, my hair's gotten a little longer. You were at my first. You gave me one of my first gigs, and then you were at my wedding, and here you are now. And I just got a feeling we're gonna continue working together.
Absolutely, man. And I'm so proud of you, what you've been doing, and the places you've been, and everything. So I want to talk a little bit about, what you're doing now, during the coronavirus situation and all of that stuff. But a little bit about what you have done in the past, but a lot about what you're going to be doing in the future. So we want to keep up with you, and every chance we get, we like to know what Pistol is up to. So,
amen.
Yeah. So how have you been coping with this coronavirus situation? I know it's been affecting musicians in a special way. You can't go out and do gigs or anything, and so how have you been handling all that?
Well, I had a baby due in April, so I was supposed to come off the road in early March anyway. My last run was with my buddy Chance up through Virginia. So it kind of worked out good. I was going to be home from there till about June to help get my baby through its first 3 months, and my wife through her last month of pregnancy. So kind of the timing's kind of been good. I hate to say that with all this going on, but it's kind of worked out for me. Now that being said, hopefully we can get going. Hopefully we can everybody stays safe and still get going back in June. But as long as that goes well, I can say that it's been pretty good. Everything except for the fact my baby hadn't got to meet her grandparents. So that's been the only rough part. But
yeah, I bet that is tough. Yeah. And neither set of grandparents have been able to meet the new arrivals. So yeah, I know that's tough, man.
It's very tough on them. It's a lot of FaceTime, a lot of data being used.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. That's good. Well, let's just jump right in. And the first thing I like to do, man, is do a little lightning round of questions. So
bring it.
Name of the first band you were ever in?
The band Half Fool. Don't ask about it.
All right, I won't ask about it. All right, where was your first gig?
The Gap. My first paid gig technically was at the Gap. My first money gig was with you, I believe.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That was the competition.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute as well. How much were you paid for your first gig?
2 pair of jeans, a thing of cologne, a bottle of cologne, and a gift card from the Gap in Hickory. Yeah. Yeah,
that's a lot like the barter system, I guess,
Yeah.
Next question. Read books or watch movies?
Neither one. I like to put on an old record and listen.
Beach or the mountains?
Mountain. If I go to the beach, I'm getting paid to go to the beach.
There you go.
I don't like sitting out on the sand and stuff. It's just, it's too much work.
If you had a choice, fly or drive to a destination?
Drive, and I'll tell you why. If I'm going to somewhere and I fly, then I'm visiting 2 towns, wherever the airport is and wherever I'm going. But if I drive, I'm visiting everywhere in between. So it's like, on the drive there and on the drive back, you get to visit a bunch of other places as well. So,
to date, your biggest accomplishment?
See that trophy right there?
Oh, yeah.
That's the Don Gibson Singer-Songwriter Award. I won it when I was 17 years old, I believe. Yeah.
Well, that is awesome.
Man, that's my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And that's where you alluded to a while ago, the first gig that you earned money, I guess, or you received money was from that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And I remember that just like it was, yesterday. And that was one of the first times that I got to hear you sing. I think you played at the theater a week or so before that, or 2 weeks before that,
Yeah.
and then entered that competition and won the competition. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It was the first folk country song I'd ever written too. I didn't know it. I didn't know it at the time. I was still doing punk rock and roll. But it secretly changed my life. Yeah.
Oh
That's
man,
why I
that's
keep it.
pretty. That's a
Why-
whole direction change. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next question. If you were not you, would you be friends with you?
Yeah, but like 5 years from now, like I guess I got a ways to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not right now, or not the last year or so. I don't think so. I had a couple bad friends over the last couple of years that I paid too much attention to. So in 5 years.
Right. In 5 years. Next question. Married or single? I think you've already answered this one.
Married.
Yeah. Married with a daughter.
Married with a daughter. Oh yeah.
Last question. This is a biggie here. If you could have one number one hit that you sang but made no money from it, or several top 100 hits that other people sang and you made a living from it, which would you choose?
The latter of those. I'll take the writing credits all day and the royalties. Yeah, that's worth a lot more.
Yeah, I think it is too. And raising a family and taking care of things like that, it's you've got your head on right. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I did a little video for Miss Bobby Gibson just a little while back, and you did a song for me. And I want to stick that video in right here. And I just love that video. Man, you did such an awesome job on that song.
Hey y'all, my name is Pistol Hill, and in honor of Don Gibson's birthday, I wanted to sing you a song that he took to number one called Sea of Heartbreak. Before I do that, I wanted to answer a question that the Don Gibson Theater posted on their Facebook page the other day. They asked folks what their favorite thing about the Don Gibson Theater is, and my favorite thing about the Don Gibson Theater is Miss Bobby Gibson. Every time I play there, she takes 30 minutes out of her evening to tell me stories about Don and all the great people that they were friends with in Nashville and worked with, and all the great songs. And not just that, but she also takes time to tell me stories about my grandfather, in which she knew. And I didn't have the honor of getting to know as well. She tells me stories, and I call my grandmother up after I play there every night, and we get emotional talking about the things that me and Bobby talked about, and it just means the world to me. Her heart is my favorite thing about the theater, and I would imagine that there's some other people that would answer that the same exact way. But without further ado, I'll be quiet and I'll shut up and sing. That's what I'm going to do. This is Sea of Heartbreak. The lights in the harbor, boom, 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 don't shine for me. I'm like a lost ship, boom, 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 adrift on the sea. Sea of heartbreak, lost love and loneliness, memories of your caress, so divine. How I wish you were mine again, my dear. I'm on the sea of tears, sea of heartbreak, heartbreak. How did I lose you? Boom, 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 where did I fail? Why did you leave me? Boom, 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 always to sail. Sea of heartbreak, lost love and loneliness, memories of your caress, so divine. How I wish you were mine again, my dear. I'm on the sea of tears, sea of heartbreak. some Don Gibson this evening. Happy birthday.
All right, we're back with Pistol Hill. Thanks,
Howdy.
man. That was an awesome tune. You did Don Gibson justice on that. Did a good job. So thank you. Thank you for doing that
Thank you, man.
for us. All right, so the next round is we're going to pull up some albums, and we're going to talk a little bit about albums. And
Let's do
I know
it.
you have been working on some new music and all that stuff. And have you done a whole 12-song CD or anything?
Well, I've got like a 6-song EP that I put out. It's kind of like my first wave of stuff with Mr. Billy Hume out of Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Linda Parks helped me out with it, and it's kind of like a mixtape of sorts. It's kind of like us. We picked out the best songs I had available at the time, and we messed around with some sounds and tried to figure out what really was my sound. And those are available on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff right now. But now we're starting to really dig in, and we're putting a record together. I'm going to be releasing a song every 3 or 4 months throughout all of 2020. And then, and then spring of 2021, I'll be taking those 4 or 5 songs and putting another 4 or 5 with them to make it about 9 or 10 and make a record out of it. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'll have-
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, they used to do vinyl, and but
Man, I ain't never heard of that.
I know, man. You'll have one. You'll do a retro, retro set, and you'll do it. The first album on my stack is. Can you see that? That's Alabama.
Alabama, all right. Yeah.
Now, when you first started out, were you doing any cover tunes or anything? Did you ever do a cover tune of Alabama?
I did a Song of the South, yeah.
Song of the South. Well, that was a big one.
Song of the South, sweet potato pie, and I shut my mouth. I love it, man.
There you go.
That was the first video I ever had go over 1,000 views, and as a kid just out of college, 1,000 views was like, I mean, Dirty Grass Soul was over there getting 40,000 on everything they did, and so for me to get 1,000, I was like, dude, I'm like 1/40th of the way there,
There you go. Yeah.
having
Yeah.
some success.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. And Alabama, of course, started out at Myrtle Beach at the Bowery, and used to go down, man, when I was, just a teenager back, and they were still playing at the Bowery, and go down there and check out Alabama, and it was just some good old guys playing, playing music.
They started off what were they called, Young Country or something,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
way back in the day. And then whenever they moved to did they change it to Alabama before or after they moved to Nashville?
It was before.
Before,
Uh,
okay.
Yeah, because they were playing at the Bowery. The last little bit, they had already changed it to Alabama.
Okay.
And they played a few. I think they were contractually bound to do a few shows or something like that
Yeah.
before they left. But yeah, I think they've done that. But they played back at the Bowery as Alabama after their hits too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, man, that would have been awesome. I didn't get to go to any of those shows, but yeah,
That's awesome.
that would have been cool to go to. All right,
Oh, yeah.
next album. I know that now this one. Oh man, this one goes back. I don't know if you've done any of this one before. The Oak Ridge Boys.
Oh, the Oak Ridge Boys. I haven't played any. Actually,
Yeah, you hadn't done any Oak Ridge Boys.
I haven't, but I love them.
Yeah, the Oak Ridge Boys. Probably about 2 generations or a generation and a half. Before you. So
Oh yeah.
But,
The thing is, I like a lot of that generation's one of my favorite generations. I mean,
Right.
I'm talking about like Merle Haggard and stuff like that. Maybe like,
Yeah.
but they're on maybe the back end of Merle's career, but before Alan and Garth.
right.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the sweet spot, man. I mean, you got the sweet spot of Waylon and Willie and all them, and like when Waylon was doing like Honky Tonk Heroes and Redheaded Stranger, which by the way I have right here.
Oh man, there
I
you
still
go.
don't. I still don't know who. Somebody gave me this for my wedding gift, and I still don't. They didn't put a name on it,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
I still don't know who it is. So if it was you, tell me.
No, it wasn't me. Well, yeah, go ahead and put my name on. I give you that. That'd be cool. Yeah. No, I don't
Put
know.
my name
who
on it.
did
Give it back.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just let you borrow that.
Yeah, exactly. Just for the first year.
Yeah.
I'll give it back to you in September.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. All right, the next one. And now I have actually heard you do a couple of this fellow's tunes here. This Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've done a couple of those.
Oh yeah. I love Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Johnny Cash.
He also did See a Heartbreak.
Yeah, he did. He did. He actually covered several of Don's songs. And "Oh Lonesome Me," "See a Heartbreak," and I think he did a version of "I Can't Stop Loving You." And so yeah, he did a few of those Don Gibson songs.
Yeah, that's country music royalty right there.
Man, I tell you what, Johnny Cash. I never got to meet Johnny Cash, but would have been an awesome honor to meet Johnny Cash. I've met a lot of entertainers in my time, and but Johnny Cash was not one of them, and neither was Willie. I would, would have loved to be able to meet Willie. Willie, he's still out doing stuff. I mean, he's trying to tour and trying to do some things. So hopefully we'll get to have him back.
One of my goals in life was to see Merle Haggard and to see Willie Nelson. And Merle Haggard came to Limestone College, or not Limestone.
Isothermal.
Isothermal. He came to Isothermal, and I missed it. So whenever Willie came a couple years ago, and he came with that big Outlaw tour with Sturgill Simpson and all of them, I went to it. I actually missed the first show, but luckily he had to cancel it anyway. So I got to, and somebody else couldn't go to the second show, so they gave me tickets, and I got to see him live. He was having breathing trouble, but he was, it's Willie Nelson, man,
Yeah.
It was totally worth it.
Yeah, that's the way a lot of the acts that I book at the Don Gibson Theater, man, it's like they're, in their older days or their, waning days or whatever. But, man, still, it's an honor to meet these folks and, the history that they've given us to look back on and cherish, is just amazing.
Well, you see, I think it's cool as you see some of those guys get a second shot at their career that way. Like Travis Tritt, for example, he was coming and doing those acoustic shows, and maybe he still does. But when he first started doing those, you didn't see much full band stuff. But now he's back playing amphitheaters and stuff. And maybe it's because the mullet country's coming back a little bit, but maybe the sound's coming back. But I don't know, man. Those acoustic shows, you just can't beat that. He's so good by himself, man.
I know, man. And it sounds like 4 or 5 people up there playing when he plays guitar too. I don't know how he gets all of that sound, but
you can tell he wrote it. It's got that heart. It's got the yeah.
That's exactly the way Pistol's going to be in a couple more years. You'll be out there doing them big shows, man.
With a little luck.
Yeah. Well, it's been good talking to you. And if folks want to find you on the internet or want to buy your music or want to book you for a gig in June, July, whenever we get back to normal, going, how can they get a hold of you?
They can. Facebook's a great spot for reaching out for a gig. Also, Pistol Hill Booking at gmail.com or Pistol Hill Music, Pistol Hill Writing, Pistol Hill Management. I own all the Pistol Hill emails on Gmail, man. I don't think they know how easy it is to start an email. But if you want to listen to my music, Spotify, Apple Music, that 6-song EP's out there. I got a new single that came out in February, and I got another one coming out May 1st. That's I'm actually doing a tribute to a lot of the bars that I play across the country who are kind of shut down right now and struggling. It's about a while back, a little bar in Charlotte named Puckett said it was closing down. And I'd heard a couple stories from being out on the road from other bar owners who were talking about what it's like to have to shut your bar down. And these people have had these bars for generations. And so I wrote a song about that. Luckily, I don't think Puckett's actually shut down. I think it's still open.
It is, yeah. And I'm not sure if they're going to have to completely shut down now or not. But
Which is good.
Yeah, that is.
But they did it when that news broke. It inspired this song. And I wrote it about a year ago and recorded it a year ago, and I've been holding on to it. I had no reason to hold on to it. I could have released it back in the fall or in the summer or in the last spring, but I didn't. I don't know why. but I think I know why now, because it's meant for right now, and I'm real happy I held on to it. So in about a week, it's coming out.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's cool. That's real cool. All right. Got your guitar with you, and you want to do a tune for us? Maybe not the one about Puckett's, but do something that you just released that folks can hear. Pistol Hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do you a song called "Brand New Bottle of Whiskey." This is my. Just in case you never heard me before, this is my most popular song. I don't know if it's my best one or not, but it's my most popular song. So it's called "Brand New Bottle of Whiskey," and it's about trying to replace a good woman with a bottle of whiskey. And I promise you can do it for about 2 weeks. But when that bottle of whiskey stops curing the hangover, you'll have to face the truth sometime. That's what this is about. If I were on the outside looking in, it might seem my luck is running thin. When I know you saw me out alone again. If you only knew how happy I'd been. I got a brand new bottle of whiskey. You should see the way it treats me when I say burn, it burns, or it goes down easy. You know it's never gonna see me. Oh, it's never gonna leave me. Oh, this brand new bottle of whiskey. I'm sure you found that I full circle fast, and the tears you cried can't be what's in my glass. Well, I saw you too, and girl, you don't look well. You can't stand a man whose hand you're holding, I can tell. And I got a brand new bottle of whiskey. You should see the way it treats me when I say burn, it burns, or it goes down easy. You know it's never gonna see me. Oh, it's never gonna leave me. Oh, this brand new bottle of whiskey. Bottle of whiskey. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I'd rather have this bottle than your body. Got a brand new bottle of whiskey, and it does all the things you did for me. But just like you, girl, when it gets empty, I'll get a brand new bottle of whiskey. You should see the way it treats me when I say burn, it burns, or it goes down easy. You know it's never gonna see me. Oh, it's never gonna leave me when I say hurt, it hurts, and then it lays me down easy. Oh, this brand new bottle of whiskey, yeah, I love my whiskey.
Man, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I did hear you play that at the Don Gibson Theater. At your last gig, I think you played that for us there too. So.
I'll probably play it every time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like it. I like that song.
Thank you very much.
Well, man, it has been a pleasure talking with you and putting a little video together for the fans at Don Gibson Theater and YouTube. So, Pistol Hill. You just don't know how proud I am of you, man. Ever since you were 17, coming up to now, you have been all over the country. You've been, just traveling around doing your thing and letting people see, what you're capable of and all your talents. So, thank you for being on the show, man.
Well, thank you for all the opportunities you've given me, man. You probably the first person that ever injected any confidence in me. So, probably that Richard, you hired me for a Richard Marx show.
Yep, that's right.
I think
Richard Marx
was the first non-singer-songwriter show I did, I believe.
And you fit in really good too, man. It was like at that point you were still doing a little bit of a mix of stuff. So I like all your new stuff. I do keep up with you on Facebook. So every time you release something, I get it, man. And you send me a little, pre-warning that it's coming out. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So look for Pistol Hill on Facebook, and any combination of Pistol Hill email address you can have, you've got probably. So if you want to get a hold of Pistol Hill, you can do that in a lot of different ways. So leave him a message on, and make sure you comment on his videos too, man. I know Pistol likes to hear. You like to hear things that people have to say and all of that. So.
Oh yeah, most of what people have to say.
Yeah, the most. Yeah.
Except for my mom, she likes to comment. I don't really like country music, but this is all right. Good job, son.
Well, that's a mom for you.
Yeah. Oh man.
Mom. But anyway, but it has been a pleasure having you, and
thank you, sir.
Hope everything gets back to normal, and good luck when you hit the road again, man.
Oh yeah, we'll see you very soon, hopefully.
All right, man. We're out.
Have a good one.
You too.
Lays me down easy.